Alright, Neo. So in this video, we're purely looking at Neo, what's been happening over the last few days since my last video, why it's been happening and where I see it going. Okay, so on the 1 day chart, we can see basically, we had this little stair step up here. In this zone here, I'm going to zoom in a minute so it's clearer, but we've had a huge bearish day yesterday. I mean, we lost from the top there, from the top there at one point, over yesterday and today, from the top right to the bottom, we lost 22.8% of the value of Neo against Bitcoin. I've just got to be clear here, guys. I'm looking at the Neo versus Bitcoin chart on Bittrex. There is a difference. There's a big difference if you look at the Bitcoin chart and the US dollar chart, and we're going to touch upon that later on in a bit. So basically we've been going on this nice kind of bullish trend here. You can see on the 1 day, well, this is the 10-day EMA line, this green line here. We've just been hugging this line on the positive side, right? Even when we had this nice sell down here, we kind of respected that line. You can see the close, open and close prices still respected that line, even though we had a sell-off here, and then we bounced back off. Okay, and we were looking to kind of just stair step our way up these support and resistance zones. These mini support and resistance zones are more clearer on the 4-hour time frame. So what happened yesterday? Okay, so there's a couple of things here. Okay, first of all, there's in terms of the fundamentals, there's there's more than one factor that's let's say taking money away from altcoins. If we check the coin market cap, we can see that the altcoins have been bleeding. I mean, Neo more than others. I will come to the reason why that is, but the altcoins in general have been bleeding out quite a lot, right? These are like really bargain basement prices now. I mean, for the next like a week or so, whoever's gonna be looking to buy altcoins, I'm sure there's gonna be some real bargains out there. So whoever was setting tight stop losses here and got stopped out and went back into Bitcoin or USDT, then you should be sitting pretty right now with some profits from Neo. And you can buy back Neo at a very cheaper price, or some other coins. Qtum is a very good solid long-term project. There's a lot of coins here at the moment, OMG, IOTA. There's some very, very good coins here that are very cheap at the moment, that you can make some huge gains in the near future. But anyway, coming back to Neo, there's a couple of things I want to point out here. First of all, this 1 day has, it just broke all the support zones here and had a massive sell-off here. And basically, it's clear panic also, and it's crossed the 10-day EMA line as well, and it just kind of touched the 30-day. This is the positive thing, guys, is bounced off the 30-day EMA. Okay, and so far this next day here, we're kind of forming a semi-bullish kind of candle, although it's coming down here as we speak, but we're looking to hold this 30-day EMA line at the moment. Okay, now why has this happened? Now basically, as I mentioned before, the one thing is that because of the whole Bitcoin gold scenario and Bitcoin 2x, that has taken a lot of money out of, let's say, some altcoins, and some people are kind of going into Bitcoin so that they can claim their Bitcoin gold or what have you. That's one thing. Okay, the second thing is, guys, is with Neo specifically, the price has been going up nicely, and that's good, but I mean, some of the oscillators have been giving us signs that we can expect a bearish move to come. Like for example here, okay, we can see a clear can see basically there's clear divergence. Okay, so that's a sign, and that's on the 12-hour, right? So that's kind of playing itself out now, and it's going to reset, and we can kind of whoever's holding can kind of expect for these oscillators to reset, and we can start moving our way back up. In regards to what I just said there a minute ago, guys, I did put out a tweet about this as well, guys, about like if anyone's holding from the top here, then for them not to sell at the bottom here, that it is going to reset, and we are going to find support and strength. And I did mention that the main reason why we had this big sell-off is because of the very first ICO sale, token sale on the NEO platform. It's called the Red Pulse ICO. That was yesterday, and that had a massive contributing factor to the big sell-off in NEO, because basically all the way up here on the run up to the ICO, we can pretty much say that a lot of people were stocking up on NEO in order to purchase that ICO. Okay, so now that the we've had that sale of the ICO, which by the way, I think the tokens were sold out within like two hours or something like that, 2 or 3 hours, right? But that sell-off, that sale, that quick sale, fire sale of the ICO, resulted in a big sell-off of NEO. Why? Because people need to spend that NEO, i.e. they're selling that NEO for Red Pulse. Okay, so all of these people buying Red Pulse ICO was all of this here, okay? So people were basically selling their NEO in order to buy the Red Pulse token, all right, which is understandable. It's the first ICO on the NEO platform, and there's more to come. There's more ICOs to come, okay? But here's the thing, I mean, that would cause a big sell-off of NEO, but at the same time, there's all of these people, like I've mentioned to yourselves, right, that if you've been trading NEO, if you've been buying NEO, especially anywhere above this line here, anywhere above this line, if you've been purchasing NEO anywhere above this line right here, okay, I'm going to get rid of that line, I'm just kind of demonstrating for you guys here, then you should have been having tight stop losses. You could have had your stop loss below this line here. Okay, you can see once it broke this line, it really just started coming down. You could have had your stop loss below this line here. Okay, so just below any kind of support zone, right, you could have your stop loss there, right? If you've been holding NEO from like way down here towards the bottom, then you might say, okay, well, I want a little bit of room to play just in case it swings down and swings back up. Then you could say, okay, well, I'm going to set my stop loss down here because I know for sure, okay, or below this trend line here, because you could say, okay, I know for sure if it breaks this trend line, then it's very, very bearish, right? So there have been like hundreds of millions of dollars worth of stop losses that have been set off here as well. So not only have we had the people selling their NEO in order to buy the Red Pulse token, but also there's millions, tens of millions, if not hundreds of millions of dollars of stop losses being triggered, and NEO is being sold for BTC, NEO is being sold for USDT also, right? Which I hope, was the case for yourselves as well, right? So that's what this is, because it's kind of like a domino effect. Once, the sale starts happening, then the price starts to decrease. And once the price starts to decrease, it starts setting off the stop losses. Once the stop losses starts getting set off, then we have this big sell-off here, because it's boom, 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 boom. People's stop losses are getting triggered. The people's stop losses that are getting triggered here is pushing the price even down. The people's stop losses that are getting triggered here is pushing the price even down. Once we start coming down here, and then we break this trend line that we've been on, this whole time we've been on this trend line, okay, this trend has well and truly been broken now, so I might as well get rid of that now. Okay, okay, so once we broke that trend line, then what happens, it it basically, the people that are not kind of that, let's say, well versed technically when it comes to reading your charts, then they're going to panic. They can say, oh, I'm losing all my money, my portfolio is like, you know, going down the drain. And then it starts the whole panic sale. Okay, so first we had the ICO sale, yeah, people selling their NEO for red pulse. We had all the stop losses getting triggered, and then after the stop losses getting triggered, we have the panic sell, and this is the panic sell right here. Now, if we look at the 30-minute chart, okay, we can pretty much see here on the where the panic sell is. Okay, it's from this point down here and down here. Okay, we can see the RSI really hit bottom here. I mean, on the 1 hour chart, let's see, yeah, we can say this is the panic here, all the way down here where the RSI is right at the oversold section here. Where has it come to? It's come to 22. When was the last time it came to 22? Last time it came to 22 was on September the 21st. Okay, so on September the 21st, we came down here, guys. Okay, so let me just mark this. Okay, so this section on the RSI right here, okay, the last time we were here was here, this zone here. So let me just highlight this point here. Okay, so when last time we came that low on the RSI, guess what, that was kind of the bottom, right? And it was the beginning of, you know, some like basically it's the beginning of the support and the bulls, you know, finding support at that zone, and it was basically the beginning of a new uptrend, right? So the positive thing is that we've come back down there on the RSI, but we are actually, you know, at a much higher price range. You know, this was down at the 470,000 Satoshi range, where, you know, averaging around the 67,000 670,000 Satoshi range here. Okay, so that's one thing I want to highlight to you guys there. Okay, and just get rid of that, guys. You know, you can tell I don't like leaving too many drawings on my charts, guys. I try to delete them straight away. Okay, so that's one thing there. Okay, another thing I want to kind of highlight to you guys here is that hopefully we're looking at creating a new base around this zone here. Okay, so this is looking like our new base. Okay, it's looking fairly strong here. Okay, if we look at the my favorite line chart, yeah, okay, so you can see this base, if you bring it all the way down. Okay, so you can basically say that it correlates with the top there. Okay, it correlates with that top and this support zone here. This is our new base now. You know, we've done this, which means, okay, which means now we are pretty much over and done with this zone here. We're done. I'm not expecting the price to come down there. I could be wrong. You know, I'm not saying I'm never wrong. I'm often wrong, right? But you know, this is just my personal analysis that I'm looking at here. Okay, so that's something to be looking at, guys. Okay, now in regards to price, I mean, what we're looking at here, I mean, we were stair stepping nicely up here, and then obviously the fundamentals kicked in. The whole, you know, 1, 2, 3, the token sell on the red pulse, the stop losses getting triggered, and the panic sell. Okay, so it's looking like we're done now, because we're on the 4 hour chart. We can see we're having a nice bounce off of here. Okay, and we've kind of sold off towards this what do you call it, the 10-day EMA. If we look at the look at the clouds. Just one sec. Yeah, okay. So yeah, on the 2 hour, we're kind of bouncing off of the bottom of the 10-day EMA on the 2 hour. Okay, but it's starting to look bullish. It's starting to look bullish again. Okay, yes, we've had this big sell. What I would say is, if your stop losses have got triggered, excellent. You're back in BTC, and hopefully you purchased back at this zone here, this zone, because you could have said, okay, NEO is getting oversold here. I know we're gonna have a nice little bounce here. You know, stop loss triggered, back in BTC, repurchase here, load up on, you know, how much more NEO could you have bought here? You know, like 20%. You could have got 20% extra for your money, right? So this is basically by managing your trade, by trailing your stop losses. If your stop loss was originally here, then the price moves up here, you can trail your stop loss here. If your price moves up to here, you can trail your stop loss there. If the price moves up to here, you can trail your stop loss here. So each time you're trailing your stop loss, you're dragging your stop loss up with you. Then basically you're moving up your profit margins each time. Okay, and then if something like fundamentally like that happens, then you're basically locking in your profits. You've locked in your profits, right? Guys, if you don't know how to set a stop loss, if you don't know the basics of how to trade and stuff like that, you know, I am having you know, tutorials via Skype. So if that's something you're interested in, then just let me know. We can go over the basics on how to get started trading cryptocurrencies and so on. Basic support and resistance, how to identify trends, and how to basically buy and sell and set stuff like stop losses and, you know, buy limits, sell limits and stuff like that. So that's all good. So yeah, so in the short term, guys, we're looking for NEO to basically get above this 10-day EMA. Yes, this 10-day EMA. Okay, and just basically have a nice bounce back now. You know, we've had this bounce here on the 15-minute. We can see, okay, on the 15-minute we're crossing this top here. Okay, you see this top right here. So that's the first sign of the bounce back. Now we need to, on the 15-minute, we need to make this zone support, which is looking like it wants to do, because, you know, we're going to have another oscillation in price here, but in general, on the 15-minute, it looks like we're moving up. We've crossed, you can see the price on the candles here have crossed the 10-day and 30-day EMA, so it's basically on the positive side there. And we've got a bullish cross on the 10-day EMA on the 15-minute candle. So that's the first sign. You know, if we look at the 5-minute, okay, the 5-minute, we can see we've had that cross a longer time ago, okay, and we're above the clouds here. So they're the first signs of some bullish movement to come. Okay, I'm not saying we're not going to have a swing down. We will have a swing down. We'll test the support zones on our way up, just like we did here. Test our support zones and then move up again. But that whole phase of the whole ICO, red pulse and stuff like that, it's over. Okay, in fact, if you've got money on the sidelines, I'd say buy. This is an amazing place to buy right now, right down here. Even now here, if we come back down to the test this support zone, it's still a great place to buy. Okay, so again, on the 15-minute, I would say the next zone, I mean, this was just such a big sharp sell-off here. The next zone we really want to clear here is this top here, which correlates with this bottom here, this zone here. Okay, so we've got above here. Okay, I'm gonna do this like I did the last one. I'm gonna do this whole kind of stair-stepping thing. All right, because we're basically doing the same thing now on a lower level. Okay, and then yeah, and then we're just gonna need to just bit by bit stair step our way. Okay, so this zone here, this zone here, okay, we're gonna have to stair step our way up here again. Okay, all right, so one thing we need to keep an eye on, guys, is the indicators on the higher time frames. Okay, so in a way it's been okay that we've had that sell-off, because guys, sell-offs they're actually healthy. They're actually healthy for the market, because what it does, it gives the market some breathing space. It shakes a lot of people out that it shakes all the panic sellers out, basically, right? And it gives the market another chance to it brings a fresh batch of people into the market. So when we have that sort of sell-off, it shakes all the scared people out, and all the stop losses and all the panic sellers and stuff like that. It shakes them out. But what it does, it rejuvenates the market in a sense that it brings a whole lot more sellers into the market, especially with a coin like NEO that weren't there before, or that were waiting for a good price to get back in, right? So that's basically what we're seeing now. And if you check my Facebook, guys, let me show you my Facebook. This is my Facebook, by the way, guys. Yeah, so I said the big sell-off in this was, by the way, this was yesterday, about 24 hours ago now, yeah, or 20 hours ago. The big sell-off in NEO is due to the Red Pulse ICO sell, the first ICO on the NEO platform. If you're holding NEO, don't sell. Basically, if you're holding NEO from the top, or if you're in loss in NEO, don't sell. Hodl for a couple of days, and the price will have a nice bounce back. Okay, so that was yesterday, and today we're starting to see that bounce back. So yesterday we had that sell-off, and now in the next couple of days I'm expecting this to bounce, the price to bounce back up. Okay, now how far, where it's going to bounce to, and where it's going to, because we're going to need some oscillations, guys, as the price bounces up. As the stochastic RSI starts coming up, we're going to need an oscillation in price. Okay, it's not just going to go up, it's going to go up in waves. Okay, so the thing what I'm expecting now, let's say on the 1 hour time frame. Okay, so this is the first little bounce here. Okay, and what I'm expecting for how the price to go up now is like in an Elliott wave sequence here. Yeah, something like that. Okay, and it might take a day or two, right? It might take 3 days. We just have to see how strong that bounce is, guys. Okay, but am I bearish on NEO long term? No, I'm not. I'm very bullish on NEO personally. I would be holding more and more NEO. Eventually I see it going higher and higher. There are more ICOs to come, but obviously this ICO had a much bigger impact than the future ones, I believe, because this is the first ever ICO on the NEO platform. So that's over with now, guys. Bear in mind what goes on in the Bitcoin market will have an effect as well. Eventually we're expecting a big sell-off in Bitcoin as well when it reaches the all-time high zone, like the just sub 5,000 zone. Then we're going to expect a sell-off in Bitcoin there, and that will affect the market in general as well. But in general, guys, we have seen NEO over the last few weeks perform better than the other coins when Bitcoin is having a red day, right? A lot of the most of the other coins generally bleed out when Bitcoin is going down in price, but NEO has generally held its own. The only reason today and yesterday that's bucked the trend is, like I said, it's because of the whole kind of ICO stuff, right? So cool stuff. That's over now, guys. If you got any questions, if this didn't make any sense to you, then just leave a comment in the comment box in the comments below. Let me know what you think. If you've held on strong and you didn't sell, then good stuff. Let me know in the comments. Yeah, just give me a thumbs up, smash that like button. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you on the next one. Adios.